Hi, my name is Gabe Arnold. I'm the founder and CEO of Business Marketing Engine. And today we're going to talk about how you can increase your profits by taking a single step that will pay you for years. This is something that oftentimes we overlook, or maybe we did earlier on in our business, but it's time to look at it again. So stay tuned, and I'm going to share this step with you. In business, oftentimes one of our greatest expenses and greatest opportunities is how we spend our time. And that could be how you spend your time, whether you're a solopreneur or you're the leader or owner of your company. And also, it can be how your team is spending your time, whether you have one or two people working with you or a much larger group of employees. The investment that we make with our time is truly what moves us forward or keeps us stuck or even can move us backwards. And so the step that I would encourage you to take today is to do a simple audit of where you're spending time on things that are manual processes. So maybe you're building a report that you need in order to make business decisions, and you're building that all in a spreadsheet, and it takes you time to build it, or it takes your assistant time, or it takes somebody on the team time. Maybe there's proposals that you write over and over that are similar, but you end up writing them from scratch. Or maybe there's a communication, that you need to send out to prospects or clients or employees. Whatever it might be, take time and just ask yourself, what repetitive tasks am I doing right now that I do basically manual without any software or tools or automation? And then ask your employees to do the same thing. Ask them, what are you doing? What manual tasks are you doing that feel time consuming or feel like you're doing them over and over that potentially could be automated, or potentially we could put a software tool in place? When we look at our time that way and ask ourselves, where am I spending time that is repetitive or seems tedious or is a manual process, that allows us to think differently and say, okay, where am I investing time that is not as effective as it could be? And when you create that awareness, that allows you to move to the next step, which is to say, okay, I'm creating these proposals manually, or I'm, reaching out to people in a manual fashion, or I send this report or this notice to employees, or I have to draft an email every time that I, go through this process. And yeah, maybe I copy and paste some of it, but sometimes I end up just writing all the details out again. When you take time to identify those steps that you're taking that could be automated or a software tool could be in place for it, that's where you get to recapture time. And even if something doesn't exist out there to match your exact needs, oftentimes there is a tool out there that matches your needs. There is the opportunity to make a small one-time investment in building a tool that will automate that process, or will create those reports, or will do follow-up with prospects for you, or will take on any of those kind of time-consuming administrative or manual tasks or things that you or your team are spending time on. Oftentimes we have clients come to us and say, what, I'm scaling out this part of my business, or I'm bringing on more sales reps, but we don't really have a good, CRM that they can use. Or my team fills out these reports, but then they fill out this report and then they have to go and do another manual report. Or my team does this audit or this process for clients, and it's a very manual process right now. When we evaluate that with our clients, we're able to take a look and say, okay, here's an existing software tool that we can help you implement that's going to give you back 2 or 3 hours a week, or maybe 10 hours a month. Or there's not an exact tool for that, but if you're willing to make a small one-time investment in building this tool, you'll no longer have to manually track this. We can add this into your chat rooms, or we can send SMS notices to remind people to do things. We can automate the collection of data. We can look at, optimizing these different things. And when we do that, again, we're reclaiming time, and we're allowing ourselves to identify where are the time sucks in our business that if we put a technology tool in place, we would get that time back. And when we look at our business that way, that's what allows us to identify what a friend of mine calls profit leaks. Her name is Annabelle Beckwith, and she has a great some great books out there. You can check her out. But she says these are profit leaks, because when we have time that's unmanaged, when we're inefficient in how we're completing a process, when we don't have a tool that speeds up our ability to deliver that quality result, that's when we start spending labor and spending time that we don't need to. And even though sometimes people are a little bit resistant to a technology tool, or your employees may be, not sure about switching processes because they may feel there's some job security around that. The reality is that when we make a wise technology investment, we free up our time and our team's time to do their best work, to do strategic thinking, to move on things that are valuable to help them move forward. And so today's episode is short, but I just want to encourage you to take time and do that audit. Write down the things that you see that you're doing manually. Write down the ideas of like, man, I wonder if there's a tool or software or some technology that I can invest in that can move us forward. Take some time to think that through. And as you have questions, you can drop them in the comments below. You can shoot me a message, or you can reach out to us at businessmarketingengine.com if you need more help. We help our clients free up their time by putting the right technology solutions in, which leads to increased lead flow for them so they can focus on revenue generating opportunities and delivering the products and services that they offer. And that's what allows revenue to grow and profits to increase. So if you need help with any of that, please reach out. I appreciate you taking time to tune in today. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode.